Good morning, everybody. Halfway through the week, got a little bit of cooler weather. This time of year, I will take what I can get, if you know what I mean. Let's see who came in here today. Big T's mom, good morning. Hello, Katrina. Katrina, your idea about doing a couple of like pre-recorded videos to put out over the weekend. I think I'm actually going to try that idea. I really am. I don't know why. I've only done one before and I messed something up on it, but I will mess with it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. You guys be the judge. Good morning, Aggie. Hello, Uli girl. Magoo, good morning. Sunshine Cowgirl, what a name. Good morning. Grandma Sherry, how are you? Preschool Granny, welcome, welcome. There's our friend Just Me. Muffin Top, what are you doing, Muffin Top? Nene, what you doing, Nene? And we have our friend Sonia Allen. There's Juicy Tequila Bobo. Been missing her in chat. I had to track her down yesterday. She just said, Brooks, I'm here. She's here. Unsolved with Barb. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see if I missed anybody. Rexana, good morning. Jules, how you doing? Katie Bird, Pat, what's up? Hopefully I got everybody. Oh, there's our friend DT Driver. Marie, what you been doing, Marie? Katie Mason, Bonnie, Lisa. Hope everyone's having a good day, having a good week. Like I said, we're halfway there. Harmony Montgomery. This case pisses me off to no end. I do not expect derelict losers like Adam to fess up and tell what he did in 2019 to Harmony. I have been waiting patiently for step meth, Kayla, to possibly crack, even if it's just to save her own skin. Something, say something. Now, a few weeks ago, we spoke about the search at their previous apartment. There was some confusion about the refrigerator. Jennifer Coffindaffer seemed to be extra confused. Did they take a fridge out? Did they put a fridge back in? What was going on? As of yesterday, Harmony's biological mother, that's all the credit she gets from me, Crystal Sorey, spoke out. She wants answers. What did they find? They're not going to tell us, but she wants them to be a little more forthcoming. On one hand, I agree, but on the other hand, I would think that they would keep things closer to the cuff because, well, for one, Kayla's still out. Kayla's still out. Let's see what our friend Shannon Georgia Peach is doing. Good morning, Shannon. How are you today?
I'm great, and I hope the chat's great. And I feel you about the weather. We got a little cool down, 88 high. We got a little bit of rain this morning, so I'll take it. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I'm good. I'm good.
Doing good. Well, you have to admit the case with Harmony Montgomery, of course, it's, we cover Summer Wells the most on here. We do. Hands down, it just seems like there's something that pops up all the time that we feel we need to discuss. We don't do drama. Harmony, when we have an update, we definitely jump in. And every time there's an update, it's another dead end. And it's nothing against law enforcement and the way they have handled this. I mean, my God, the governor has gotten involved. So the case of the search done a couple of weeks ago, we got our hopes up, right?
Yeah, we did. And it made me wonder if step meth, as we call her, made them either go on a wild goose chase. And then you brought up the fact that was the refrigerator taken. I actually saw a photo of the refrigerator on a, what do you call those two-wheeler things that you take things
like a dolly
in and out of a truck? What are they?
Like a dolly.
Yeah, thank you, a dolly. Uh, yeah, thank you. It was a dolly, and I did see a picture of law enforcement with the refrigerator strapped on a dolly. So it looked like they did take the refrigerator, as some call. Um, so and some other items. Um, but you also mentioned the mom wanting answers. Well, I agree with that. And I agree. I don't necessarily think she's involved, but I do think she failed her baby girl. I mean, it's
Yes.
obvious she lied.
Yes.
And so maybe they have to keep it to the vest because they don't know how much she knows or doesn't know yet. I mean, this is a very important case. This little girl hasn't been found. I mean, Harmony has my heartstrings just as much as Summer. And I'm so glad that you cover this case no matter what, because I think this case is so important.
Oh, it's extremely important. I mean, to just not mention to everybody this case and Oakley Carlson. We're going to be going over Oakley again next week. You have the parents. I mean, obviously it doesn't matter who it is, but you have the parents. Teardrop is the parent. Teardrop's the daddy. You do not mention to anybody that you haven't laid eyes on your daughter in umpteen months. Then you have Crystal, who wants everyone's sympathy, saying she did the best she could. And it's like, no, you didn't. You're telling me the best you could do was a FaceTime on Easter of 2019, and then you lied and you lied, and then you have no shits or apologies to give when the governor's report comes out showing that all of these hoops you said you were trying to jump through didn't even exist. You didn't even return their phone call, Crystal, when they tried to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and one, I think it was one of her interviews or something she had said that she said the I don't know if she's talking about the police, the court system, whatever. They failed my daughter giving custody. She never missed a visit, and she should have never allowed them to give custody to Adam because he was a violent person. Well, hello, if you're the bio mom and that's the bio dad, and he's a violent person, and you think and you know he's on drugs, that's when you tell the judge, look, he needs to be drug tested. I want my daughter, we need to set up parenting classes. We need to set up domestic violence, whatever it is. You fight for your child in the court. It sounds like she just didn't. Did she
She
even
didn't
show
do it.
up?
She didn't do it. Erin, the social worker from New
Oh,
Hampshire, she's been on here several times, and she said Adam was the
right.
one showing up for the reunification. Crystal wasn't. Now, remember, Crystal was into her recovery and things like that. So she allowed Jameson, thank goodness, this is a good thing Crystal did,
Yeah.
to be allowed to, was she allowed him to be adopted by the two gentlemen, in the Northeast. I think one's in DC, one's in Boston. These two guys are married, phenomenal guys, phenomenal dads. They wanted to also adopt Harmony. She couldn't allow that to go forward
Yes.
because Adam got involved. So at that point, it wouldn't matter her opinion of Adam. It was already in the court's hands. I can't blame her for that. What I can blame her for
No,
is that had she been more involved, Harmony would not be in this situation.
I absolutely agree because you have to go to court. You have to show up. You have to be there and you have to fight for your child. You have to say, look into him, drug test him, drug test me, drug test us both, you know, and if they need help, go that avenue, whatever. But during that time, she should have been placed with her brother, even if quote unquote temporarily or something.
Well, she was safe in her
I
foster
don't know.
care.
It's just,
She was safe in her foster
yeah,
care. Drug testing goes with the territory. They Adam was already being drug tested, but it doesn't change the fact that he is a violent, short fused, ill equipped POS man. And we're still sitting here with more questions than answers as to where is Harmony. We know he's
oh,
involved because he lied about her whereabouts. He lied and said she was with Crystal. He knows she's not. The only reason he lied is because he knows he's responsible.
absolutely. And how do you give custody to a man? Wasn't he charged with assaulting Harmony and giving her a black eye?
Yeah, but
Allegedly?
that wasn't until way later. Yeah, that's 100% on the judge.
Oh,
No, he would never. I say never.
oh,
But if that was on the books, he wouldn't have been allowed to even see Harmony. No, that was, I mean, that came much later after he had done
after
reunification and
that.
Harmony back in his custody.
Gotcha.
So let's
I
go through
missed
some
that.
comments
But
from the last
yeah,
show and try to get everybody caught up and get us on the right track. Okay, you guys ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, Sarah said it would warm my heart to hear anyone with information that's willing to help find Harmony. Now, there is a group called United for Harmony Montgomery. They've been fighting tirelessly. So we do have that group. I think she's leaning more towards people that have more of a knowledge as to Adam's whereabouts in 2019. Sarah goes on to say she wasn't properly loved by her parents. Neither of them did right by her. I hope one day Harmony is found, the truth is told, and those that hurt her are brought to justice. That's all we can hope for. And Crystal, you can scream from the mountaintops. You can try to look like the caring mother. At this point, I think you do have some concerns, but
Hmm.
it's kind of like you're playing Monday morning quarterback now. The answers lie with Adam and Kayla.
Yeah. And it's too late to do the right thing by your daughter now, as far as, you know, her still being around, but it's not too late to start doing the right things now. I'll give her that.
Mm-hmm.
If she's turned her life around, if she's learned, how to fight better for her daughter, um, and is out there doing more, I'll give her props to that. I won't blame her for that. But,
Yeah.
you know, somebody, even these girls that he's been with, not just step meth, but somebody's got to pick up on something or know something.
The only other
They
person
have
he's
to.
been with, the only other person he's been with passed away. So it's
Oh, that's right. I
it's all
forgot.
left. It's all left with Adam and Kayla. I really held out
Oh,
hope when they went to that house that Kayla had not slipped, made some kind of deal to get them going in the right direction. Well, we still don't have Harmony, and there's no charges relating to her disappearance. So I'm going to go back to what you were saying, and I agree. It's too little too late, Crystal. But I hate using that word, but just like yesterday,
yeah.
she reached out to the news. She wants answers. That gets the focus back on Harmony, and that's a good thing. So, Crystal, keep doing things like
Yeah.
that. Even though you're going to catch hell for it, keep doing that stuff.
Right. I mean, you can only, you know, you can, it's easy to fall. It's harder to get back up. And if she's back up and fighting, I'll, I'm 100% for that. Fight
Hmm.
for that baby now. I know you should have before, but maybe, like you said, she wasn't in her right mind due to other things. And maybe she's got a clear head now. Um, she, we don't know what she's going through. So I just hope she does the right thing. like you said, continue to fight for that baby girl. She's
Keep her
so
name out there.
beautiful.
If Crystal just keeps her name
Yes.
out there, that would be a good thing. But just don't act like Mother of the Year. You already tried that once and you got shot down by the governor's report. Corinne Bustos says,
Right.
praying for Harmony's brother Jameson. Me too. And his two fathers. This can't be easy for any of them. That is forgotten in this case, and we're not going to let it happen around here. Jameson and his
No.
cries out for Harmony, the two fathers wanting to keep Harmony and Jameson connected, are what sounded the alarm. You can take all that other stuff, Crystal, and shove it in your pipe and smoke it. It was Jameson missing his sister that got the ball rolling. These two fathers were after you to try to find Harmony so Jameson could see his sister. Now, Jameson would really be her only known relative. You can't, I mean, I don't know that Crystal has any rights if you really want to know the truth. We can't get a straight answer on that. So I do know that a couple of days after the search was stopped, at the apartment with the refrigerator, authorities did reach out to Jameson's fathers, not Crystal, Jameson's fathers, basically gave a heads up that you're not going to get the outcome you've been hoping for. And I have a feeling that was very hard on those two gentlemen because they have to explain all of this to their son someday.
And that's his baby sister. I don't
That's
want
his older
to
sister.
talk about.
That's his older sister.
Sorry.
Jameson is much
Yeah.
younger.
I don't want to bring Summer's case in here, but it's the same thing, with the brothers. You can't imagine, these parents don't give a crap, but the siblings are like, they know their sister's gone missing. I don't know what that does to a child. So poor Jameson, thank God for these dads. That's all I have to say. Thank God for these dads. I mean, impeccable. And yes, I agree. Crystal, they got the ball rolling. Jameson wanted his sister from 2019. Here it is, the end of 2022.
Middle.
And oops, I just don't went. That's not an answer.
Nope. CLH said Harmony's bio mom is part of the problem. I agree. Unfortunately, there's no time machine readily available for any of us. And so we just kind of have to deal with what we're dealing with now. And it is horrific. She goes on to say she essentially gave Harmony to her bio father, who was known to be violent. That is the elephant in the room, and Crystal will not address that. If she was feeling ill-equipped as a mother, cannot raise Jameson, cannot raise Harmony, I'm not going to fret her for doing the right thing and allowing them to be adopted. Problem is, when Adam stepped in, she should have stepped out and caused all kinds of havoc so everybody knew what he was really about. It should have been on record somewhere, obviously sealed because it's for children, that she could have tried to stop this, even if it meant her biting the bullet and getting custody of Harmony to keep her safe. And she did none of those things.
Right. And then maybe eventually, the dad, like if Harmony went back with Jameson, was eventually placed with the dads and Jameson, and she got her life together, I guarantee you they would have given her, updates, pictures, maybe occasional visits, but she should have showed up and done the right thing. Like you said, ill-equipped as a mother, put your pride down and say, look, I can't take care of her right now. And this bastard over here, you don't want my daughter with him. He's violent, and then fight for your daughter. But she didn't do it. And now, like you said, we're left with.
Even if it's a temporary fix and she's got Harmony with her to keep her away from Adam, then Adam will go away. Adam's not going to fight too hard. Okay. Obviously, Adam didn't have Harmony's best intentions at heart. He goes away, you put out a public notice trying to find him or whatever, then you can go through with the adoption, because it doesn't seem to me that it was Crystal's intention to raise Harmony and Jameson. She already had Harmony in foster care. When he stepped in,
Right.
she should have stepped into and fought him for custody. She didn't do that. Instead, her claim to fame is this Easter basket and one FaceTime exchange, which means nothing, because look where we're at right now. This is July of 2022.
Whooping. That's the last time you saw your baby. I'd be, that wouldn't happen. That just wouldn't happen. You know, I can't believe the time that went by. I can't believe that, where's other family members that didn't say, hey, haven't seen Harmony in a while? Is there any like grandparent? I know there's Adam's dad, which there's questions about that, and Kayla's in her jail in the conversation. I have ideas about that, but where are the other family members?
I've been asking that myself, because between 2019 and December of 2021, when it was finally reported that Harmony has not been seen, we heard October of 2019, then the timeline changed to end of November to like mid-December, possibly. We're in that area. Okay, so in that time, April of 2019, when she does the FaceTime Easter thing, and the end of December, which again, Jameson's fathers were pushing her to try to find Harmony. Okay, she can, whatever she wants to say. Now, she sent an email to the mayor. Good. I'm glad she did. She's done some right things, not all right things. All right. Anyway.
Right.
So in that time, we have Halloweens, 19, 20, 21. We got 3 Halloweens, Christmases, Thanksgivings, birthdays, 4th of July's. So let's just say Crystal's a scumbucket altogether and doesn't care. Where's everybody else? Where's Grandma? Where's Grandpa? What about the aunt that was on the news saying that she was seen at Dollar General? Turned out to be a total lie. Did nobody wonder where she was?
That blew my mind when I saw the aunt's interview. Like, oh, they were at the dollar store and they tried to call her another name, and she's like, no, my name's Harmony. I'm like, oh Lord. And there's been sightings, and I'm like, ugh, that drove me nuts. But yeah, where are these family members? I think we said this on the last show. Christmases, all these holidays. I mean, my family's going to be like, where's this kid, this kid, this kid, this kid? What was said? What was done? Were they not a close-knit family? Did they not spend holidays together? I mean, I don't know.
And that could be.
It doesn't sound like it.
That could be. And that's one thing in these cases. I know in the Dylan Rounds case, a lot of people have come after me about, he was estranged from this person and that person. And I'm like, look, I get family dynamics. I get it. Look, I don't want to talk to that person again, blood related or not. Done. Family is the original F word. When it comes to a little girl, Harmony, Summer Wells, Oakley Carlson, I kind of expect the adults to put all that shit aside and look after the babies. And there are some families that don't. Their beef with each other means more than the safety of the children. I've got a big problem with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And our last comment, you guys left some stellar comments. Layla said, love that name, by the way, I think Kayla is playing games with law enforcement and led them on a wild goose chase. Layla, it seems so. That's the only thing I can make out of them basically shutting off a city block, tearing that apartment up and down, swimming in the sewer, and nothing. They did take a refrigerator out with biohazard stickers on it, which made me ill. Truth is, they might
Yes.
have come across, they might have something, but it seems like the apartment isn't it because they never went back. Pat, thank you for the super sticker. And you're right. Monday, quarterback concern, meaning the shit has all hit the fan. It's everywhere. You can't deny it now. And we're playing cleanup. Can't do it. Not with a little child.
Yeah. No. And they have ties. Where, okay, they have what? I'm sorry. What state are they in again?
New Hampshire.
Okay, they have New Hampshire in the picture. Then you got Florida in the picture. And everywhere in between. He was
Massachusetts.
living in his
Got
car.
Massachusetts
Yeah.
and New Hampshire, namely. The grandpa living in Florida, I can't see that really has any connection because the two jurisdictions that are the most heavily involved is New Hampshire, then Massachusetts. But all of this that was going down with the refrigerator that was federal. I mean, we had marshals there, FBI was there.
And what's crazy is another family moved there, had their food in there.
Oh
So
gosh,
I couldn't
that
imagine
gave
what
me
they're
nightmares.
thinking.
That gave me nightmares.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh my gosh." But I hope I do. I think like this comment said, was this a wild goose chase? Let me get out of jail, you know, put all these restrictions on me. I'm not supposed to have any contact with Adam, not third party contact, which she did, in my opinion, with his dad,
Uh-huh.
Adam's dad. So it's just, I think she's obsessed. She's obsessed with Adam.
I
Obsessed.
think Kayla is making sure to let Adam know through his father, like I said, we can agree to disagree on here, that she is not going to turn on him. It is a cover your ass. How can she have any loyalty to that man knowing that when he got arrested, he was living in the car with Kelsey, and then in March of 2022, Kelsey is found deceased. I was Besides the fact that this woman suffered an untimely death, there is something she could have known without knowing it. Without knowing it. It could have been the
Right.
smallest thing. Adam could have mentioned something to her, somewhere he visited, an old buddy, an old friend, some little bitty something. It's not always the smoking gun in these cases. It can be the smallest thing. And I'm just really afraid that it went with Kelsey.
Yeah, I've been afraid of that too. I mean, he could have, let's say he kept driving by the same spot or same area. It could have been something like that and all those other examples you gave. And
Mhm.
and if she talked to law enforcement, they could have gotten something out of that and it may have died with her, unfortunately.
They did talk to
It really
her.
has.
They did talk to her. I did read a couple of articles where they did talk to Kelsey soon after his arrest, where he said, Harmony's fine. I just saw Harmony. She's with her mom. Well, they knew that wasn't true. They knew that wasn't true, or they wouldn't
Right.
have been knocking on the window of the car/home. They did talk to Kelsey, but of course, she's trying to save her own. Like, what am I involved in? So she didn't have very much to tell them. I think
Right.
then she goes into basically a rehab. She goes to a sober living facility, getting her facilities about her. So, like you mentioned, I thought about this too. Adam would have been curious as to where he put Harmony. I'm not trying to be gruesome here. I think that went with Kelsey.
Right.
Probably would have drove by a certain
Right.
area more times than she realized and didn't put it together. That's just my thoughts. I don't have proof of that. There's no link or anything. It just makes sense to me. So let's look at this article real quick. This came out yesterday. This is NBC 10 Boston. Crystal reaching out, which is good. I will give credit where credit's due, Crystal. So it says it's been nearly a month
Mm-hmm.
since the investigators looking for missing girl Harmony Montgomery searched an apartment in Manchester, New Hampshire. Authorities haven't said anything about any new clues about Harmony. She was last seen late 2019 when she was 5 years old. That may have turned up inside that home. That's not sitting well with Harmony's mother. I get it. I really thought we were going to hear something sooner than later. Now, make
Right.
no bones about it, no qualms. There were a few creators that came out and said she had been found in that house. People still think that. I don't know why. That did not happen. That's the reason I didn't go live the first day they started this search. I wanted to get a resolution, and we could figure out within 10 12 hours Harmony wasn't in there. Okay, we could figure that out. Harmony was not found inside that house. Crystal says, I haven't
Right.
heard anything in an exclusive interview. Nothing from the search, nothing. I'm thinking that information that they get, this is just me, I think they're in closer communication with Jameson's fathers than with Crystal. That's the gist I'm getting. Do you think so?
Yes, because they seem to be the only caring, responsible, loving parents, and I'm going to even say family to Jameson and Harmony.
Right.
They're the only competent ones to be talked to, in my
Right.
opinion. So I totally agree with that. And,
And I
you
and I
know,
agree. And I agree with just me. She said, good for Crystal getting clean. Yeah, good for her. And these two
right.
gentlemen actually are allowing her to be in Jameson's life. These are good dudes, okay? I agree with just me. Good for her getting clean. She said, I mean that. She should have called for a wellness check. Now, Crystal said she did and nobody would do it. The governor's report says that's not true. Says that's not true.
Yeah.
So she is
Yeah.
bringing attention by saying she wants information about that search. The reason I say that I think they're more in contact with the fathers is because we'll get to that in a second. When the search was coming to a close or maybe totally done at that apartment, they reached out to them. They spoke to Fox News and said that they were told that, listen, this is not going to be the outcome you're looking for. That's why I'm thinking they did find something in that apartment that would maybe show some
Yeah.
default.
And that, if I think about it, that doesn't come back in a day. And that's a money thing, and you send that off to the labs. That takes time to test and then get the information back. So that may be what the wait is. It's not like on TV on CSI where they do it right away. You know, it doesn't happen like that. So maybe, unfortunately, and I hate to hear this, maybe that's what we're waiting for.
That makes a lot of sense because, like the article says, it's been 4 weeks. What I've been reading, it can be anywhere to get a positive match back, anywhere, even with a rush on it, anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months. And there is a rush on this. Don't think that it's sitting in line somewhere. The governor's involved. The governor's involved. The governor's like, I want
Right.
answers. So Crystal says, I haven't heard anything. Nothing from the search, nothing. Crystal says she's still in the dark nearly 4 weeks after a high profile search in the Manchester apartment building. An FBI evidence response team, Manchester police, and Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputies had an entire block of Union Street shut down. Crystal says, I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, hoping that they tell me a little crumb of information. And I got a feel for Crystal on that because I have a feeling, like I said, she's sober now. She's in the land of the living.
Yeah.
It's got to be grueling. It's got to be grueling for Jameson's fathers too, because they're the ones that have the charge of telling their son someday what happened to their sister.
Mm. I just that breaks my heart to little pieces. It
Yeah,
really
me too.
does. And, good, like you said, good for her being clean. And if she is clean, I, I'm going to say that there's guilt there. There's all kinds of
Immense.
things, emotions going on with her, which could lead, she's in a vulnerable state right now. And I hope she's with good people that are keeping a watchful eye on her so that she doesn't, relapse or something. And then something tragic happens to her. She just needs to stay focused on her baby girl and keep fighting. Stand up now. I mean, better late than never, you know. Stand up now. And she's at least she's trying to do that. So like you said, give credit where credit's due. We can slam her all day for the past, but in the mind state she was in, it's a disease, it's an addiction. I just wish she would have showed up and spoke up a long time ago.
Yeah, disease or not, she didn't do near enough. She knows what kind she knew and
No.
she knows what kind of monster Adam is. Like I said, she could have thrown herself into that situation. She was informed. There's no way she was kept in the dark, and she could have fought him for custody. Even though she didn't want custody, she wanted Harmony and Jameson adopted out. She could have at least done that for a short period of time to keep Harmony away from him. So I'm glad she's keeping Harmony's name out now. What she did before is part of the problem.
Right.
Okay, so she says, I want to know what was in that fridge. What did they take out? I want to know why they took out tiles, carpet, and the pole. Was there blood? Was there hair? What happened? Before the search took place, Sori said she was given an ominous warning by her advocate in the case. I was told to be prepared for the worst. See, that was what Jameson's fathers were told too. I don't think they specifically meant
Mm.
they were going to find her in that apartment, but I think they had a very good inkling they were going to find something that's going to validate their thoughts all along that Harmony's no longer with us.
Right.
Sad. And that would be
And
really hard to
they
hear.
they could have, they could have sprayed luminol, and I know there's another new product that does the same thing. And I've known they've done this in other cases before, and it turned out to be uh blood from meat. You know, a cut, not blood at all, but obviously they found enough to say something like that. That's a little scary to me, because if they didn't find as much as they think they did, I don't think they would have said that and given this these two fathers this false hope. So they
I
found
don't
something.
I don't think they've given any false hope from the get-go. I really don't. I've never picked up on that
Yeah.
anyway. But I don't think they would have spent the amount of time that they spent there and shut off a city block if there was nothing there. I definitely think that they have something. They're not going to tell us, but I
Yeah.
think they have something. So let's go into a first glimpse of the apartment. We got time?
Yep.
All right. There's beautiful little Harmony right there.
Oh, I love that picture.
So this is from Boston 25 News. This is a first glimpse inside the New Hampshire apartment that was searched in Harmony Montgomery's investigation.
Montgomery investigation. We're getting a good look inside the Manchester, New Hampshire apartment where police seized evidence in that investigation earlier this week. Boston 25 was there as FBI and local police recovered a refrigerator and other items from the apartment on Union Street, where Harmony's father and stepmother briefly lived. Boston 25 News reporter Bob Ward toured the apartment today. He joins us live from Manchester Police headquarters with more. Bob, you saw the specific locations in that apartment that had the attention of investigators here.
Yeah, that's right, Kerry. The apartment itself is very, very small. It's a one-bedroom unit. But today, we could clearly see the kind of evidence that police seized in this massive search. 644.
Okay, so right there, the anchor is saying, I get what Crystal's saying. She wants to know what it is. We have to have faith, all we have in this case, because we can't depend on teardrop and we can't depend on step meth. Crystal,
Nope.
you shit the bed, years ago too. I'm sorry to say it, Crystal. I'm glad you're standing up now, but there's evidence in that apartment. I'm not going to be surprised if we don't hear charges by the end of the year. I know that sounds like a long time, but considering how long Harmony was missing before anyone knew, this has moved fast.
Union Street, apartment number 2, Manchester, New Hampshire. This is where Adam and Kayla Montgomery, Harmony Montgomery's father and stepmother, once lived. It was the focus of a massive police search on Tuesday. Today, the current resident, a woman we'll call Ginger, let me inside to see the apartment.
It's heartbreaking.
Good Lord, Ginger, you still live there?
Ah, no.
Ginger, I would be like, no, I got to get out of here. God bless her.
I would be out. Yes. Nope.
Well,
nope.
I'm
Not
glad
me.
I'm glad Ginger let him come in. I assumed after all that,
Yeah.
the new tenants were like, I'm out of here. Okay, they still live. Okay. Wow. God.
Wait a minute.
To be in the
Wait
apartment
a
that you think
minute.
something might
I saw. I'm sorry. I saw a black refrigerator being hauled out, not a white one.
Well, they had to replace it.
So I don't know what. Oh, Okay, play the video. Blonde moment.
Heard it on the X. Welcome. We've got some new names in here, guys. Love it, love it, love it. Hit the sub button. Live every morning. Susan go and said, who's Ginger? Ginger lives in the apartment now. Had to leave the apartment her apartment for almost a week while they're collecting evidence in the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery. Dang, Ginger. Housing's hard to find. I'm just saying, I don't think, no shade thrown on Ginger. I'm just saying, I don't think I could do it. I'm just saying, I don't think I could do it.
This is where Adam and Kayla Montgomery, Harmony Montgomery's father and stepmother, once lived. It was the focus of a massive police search on Tuesday. Today, resident, a woman we'll call Ginger, let me inside to see the apartment.
It's heartbreaking to be in the apartment that you think something might have happened in. You're crying for like days, so.
They might want to explain to Ginger. She said it's hard, living in an apartment where you think something might have happened. Ginger, it looks like it did. Whether she was there after the fact or just the fact that 2 heinous criminals were in that apartment. I really think they need to explain this to her. I feel bad for this woman.
Yes.
Definitely.
The apartment itself is a small one-bedroom. It's being repaired, but we can clearly see the pieces that police collected as evidence and took away. In the kitchen, there's a new refrigerator in place. The previous refrigerator was seized as evidence.
That fridge is supposedly a newer fridge. It wasn't there when they were here. A lot of the stuff the maintenance man was telling me was not here when they were there. There's 3 other tenants before me.
There is.
Now, hold on. They told her that the fridge they took, that was a newer fridge that Adam and Kayla, I guess, didn't have access to. Then why would they take that refrigerator?
Yeah, that doesn't.
The maintenance man just
make
telling
any
her
sense.
that?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Is the maintenance
I
man
don't know about that.
telling her that? Wolfcat said Ginger lives in a new apartment now. Well, then she moved fast because this interview was just a few weeks ago. I plead the 5th. I would have some questions for the landlord too. All right. I don't know.
Extensive flooring that's been removed too, in the kitchen, in a hallway, and into the bedroom. Just to be clear, this was carpet before.
Yep.
It's gone. And there's tile over there off the kitchen, and that's got to be replaced.
Yeah.
And in the bedroom, a ladder stands in the closet where a worker has been trying to rebuild it. It appears police were very interested in this closet.
Closet was just all ripped out.
So they took things out of the closet.
They took my stuff out of the closet, and then they took the walls of the closet. And there was a shelf and a bar, that's all gone. So they just came in and redid it.
In 2021, Adam Montgomery was arrested here at Union Street several times, charged with criminal mischief, stalking Kayla, and resisting arrest. Harmony Montgomery was last seen in November.
Did I just hear that? He was arrested several times
Yes.
on Union Street, where this is where that apartment is. One of the charges was for stalking Kayla. So we can write that off about how Kayla is obsessed with him and wants back with him. She didn't want anything to do with him. He was arrested for stalking Kayla. This is Kayla playing nice in the sandbox because she's worried about her own skin. That's what that whole phone conversation with his dad, was about. Get that to him, because I'm going to hear it again.
Yeah.
Stop Kayla. That changes everything.
Walls of the closet. And there was a shelf and a bar, that's all gone. So they just came in and redid it.
In 2021, Adam Montgomery was arrested here at Union Street several times, charged with criminal mischief, stalking Kayla, and resisting arrest. Harmony Montgomery was last seen in November or December 2019. The current resident never met the Montgomerys, but like many, she cannot stop thinking about Harmony and what might have happened here.
It's breaking my heart.
This is breaking a lot of hearts here in New Hampshire and really all across the country. Now, all of that evidence that was taken out of that apartment was taken off-site where it'll be analyzed later. Now, I reached out to Manchester Police. I reached out to the New Hampshire Attorney General's office. They are not talking about the search this week on Union Street. In fact, they're not talking about this investigation publicly at all. Reporting live from Manchester, New Hampshire, Bob Ward, Boston 25 News.
Public following this so closely, Bob. It's been pulling at all of our hearts. 25 Investigates also confirmed today that in addition to the searches we've been covering by police, New Hampshire Fish and Game have been assisting, dredging through waterways and woodlands. What does that say to you?
Well, it tells me that there's a lot going on behind the scenes in this investigation to try to find Harmony wherever she is right now. Hopefully she's alive, but as more time goes on, we just get more worried. So it just all tells me, Carrie, that so much work is being done on this case. A lot of attention is being focused on finding Harmony.
All hands on deck. Bob Ward, live in Manchester, New Hampshire. Thank you, Bob.
Okay. Woo. So they've got a lot going on. They haven't stopped searching. They have a lot going on. Just because we don't see it on the news doesn't mean nothing's going on behind the scenes. Good grandma. Hello. She says, hi. How could the police get anything if it was remodeled? I think this remodeling's going on now because they tore up the floor, took out the walls and everything. I don't believe that it was remodeled between Adam and Kayla living there up into Ginger, who, by the way, Ginger's not her real name. I was a little confused about that too.
What I noticed was you've got the refrigerator, the floor from the refrigerator that drags to the hallway into the closet. That's not one little area. That is let's hypothetically say someone is hurt and bleeding and you take them from one spot to another spot. That's what that showed me. That kind of scared me. I didn't know how much, because I haven't seen that news clip, and I didn't realize how much area that follows a path per se that they took, and especially the closet.
The closet, the floorboards, like Lisa said,
Yes.
She says, okay, anger level high. They took the walls. Just Me said between the floorboards. They took an entire fridge out. I'm not 100% buying what the maintenance man told Ginger, again, not her real name, when he's like, oh, that was a newer fridge. They'd have no reason to strap that thing up and put biohazard on it if Adam and Kayla never had any access to it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that. The FBI is
what
really,
if it was
the FBI really, what's that?
What if that was Kayla and Adam's fridge that they put in?
I don't know
Not,
that they would
you
put
know,
their own fridge in. I'm just saying that they took that black fridge
that,
out. Obviously, there was something in it that caused concern. Like I said, they put it up,
yeah,
on the truck, took it down on a dolly, had it all strapped, biohazard on it. So what the maintenance man is telling Ginger basically doesn't make any sense, or they would have no need for the fridge. If Adam and Kayla never touched that fridge, there'd be no reason for them to need it.
right. And in every case, there's always that one person that says that one little statement that just kind of gets in the way. And I think that should just be brushed off ASAP, to be honest.
Okay, Frank said the fridge was taken from the basement. I've heard two different stories. I've heard from the apartment and from the basement. Okay, not the apartment because the landlord removed Adam's fridge when he left. All right, so here's my question. Then why does she have a new fridge? Why did they replace her fridge? It said in the news clip we just heard, this is a brand new fridge. So why would she get it? Why is there a new fridge in that apartment if the fridge in question was in the basement? Wouldn't they replace the one in the basement, not the one in the apartment? You see my confusion? There's something really weird with the fridge.
Yeah, they took it for a reason and it had a bio sticker on it. And that's, to me, I'm just going to say that's good enough for me. And I don't know why it's black, why they say it's different. It wasn't there. It was. I'm going to try to put that to the side and just hope that law enforcement got something out of there that they had to take it and put a biohazard sticker on it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to trust in law enforcement with that.
A lot of people are saying that the fridge they took was white, but they wrapped it in black. Okay, that makes more sense to me. You guys are the best. Thank you.
That's
Hang on,
smart.
Frank said he's going to look into that. Yeah, Frank, because this is really bugging me now. Because I have heard that the fridge was in the basement. I have heard the fridge was in the apartment, as Ginger verified, because they said this is a new fridge. They replaced a refrigerator in that apartment. The color to me is neither here nor there. I don't care if they gave Ginger a pink refrigerator afterwards. I don't care. But I'm wondering if the maintenance man, either he's telling a big whopper to Ginger by saying, oh, no, the fridge that they took, Adam and Kayla never saw. That came along way after. And he's just telling her that, which would be very stupid of the maintenance man.
Mm-hmm.
Or they honestly just took control of a refrigerator that they would have never been into. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. And yeah, you're right, Angel P. Biohazard is bodily fluids. There's something got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sticker. Yeah.
Crime with Shannon. She's like, now I want to know as well. Did it come from the apartment or not? I mean, let's listen to the clip again. We'll go through. I won't stop it. But you hear the news anchor say, this is a new refrigerator. You're not going to put a new refrigerator in the apartment if they took one from the basement. But Frank said he's going to look into it. Frank, when you find out, please let me know, because this is going to drive me insane. I'm going to go back to just to this part right here.
Police headquarters with more. Bob, you saw the specific locations in that apartment that had the attention of investigators here.
Yeah, that's right, Carrie. The apartment itself is very, very small. It's a one-bedroom unit. But today, we could clearly see the kind of evidence that police seized in this massive search. 644 Union Street, apartment number 2, Manchester, New Hampshire. This is where Adam and Kayla Montgomery, Harmony Montgomery's father and stepmother, once lived. It was the focus of a massive police search on Tuesday. Today, the current resident, a woman we'll call Ginger, let me inside to see the apartment.
It's heartbreaking to be in the apartment that you think something might have happened in. You're crying for like days, so just.
This has impacted you.
Definitely.
The apartment itself is a small one-bedroom. It's being repaired, but we can clearly see the pieces that police collected as evidence and took away. In the kitchen, there's a new refrigerator in place. The previous refrigerator was seized as evidence.
That fridge is
Okay, and that refrigerator they just took out does not look to me like it's covered in trash bags or anything. It just looks like a black fridge to me. I could be wrong. I'm not a refrigerator expert. Court case. So what we did here, that's a new refrigerator in that apartment. Court K, Ginger knows if they took her fridge or not. Yeah, exactly. Even though Ginger couldn't be in the apartment, she knows when she got back there's a new refrigerator. She knows that. So
Right.
if she thinks hers is new, then
Right.
it has to. United Define Harmony Montgomery. Big treat, guys. United Define Harmony Montgomery is in here. This group has done amazing work in the search for Harmony Montgomery. I'm going to put the link up in case you want to come up and talk to us. Like I said, this is a big treat. Let's give them a round of applause. United Define Harmony Montgomery says, I have the video of the property manager stating the fridge came from the apartment. Okay, so not the basement. Why the hell do we hear two things, not just in this case, but in many cases? Okay, came from the apartment, and it was not the one that Adam and Kayla used. I'm even more perplexed. What do you need it for? If they've never laid eyes on that fridge, what do you need it for? Seized for evidence. I get it. I get the seized for evidence. I totally do. But if they never were anywhere near that refrigerator, then why do you want it?
Now I'm confused. I was putting that to the side. Now I'm like, that's got to come back in because, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Put the link up real quick.
But like, I don't know. Unless, like I said, when you spray luminol, you have meat blood. But if it wasn't their refrigerator, maybe they didn't. Maybe they took it just in case. I don't know. Maybe it was well, we can't go by what these people say we're going to take. You know,
that might blow my mind even more. Chain of custody, they don't like to just take a bunch of stuff just in case. You know what I mean? All of that stuff costs money and costs a lot of money to process. So if Adam and Kayla never touched that refrigerator, I don't know. We'll find out. I can't wait to find out. Razor, thank you for the amazing comments today. Razor said they found evidence in the apartment and put it in the fridge to keep it cold. Sorry for caps. That could be too. I use caps too. Don't even worry about that. And United Define Harmony Montgomery says, I have wondered that myself.
That makes sense.
Muffin Top says, were there possibly two fridges? Well, you know what? At this point, we saw one come out, but we don't. Frank says it's the one from the basement. Ginger got a new fridge up in the apartment, so I'm going to assume that they took the one from the apartment and then they had to get Ginger a fridge.
That's what it looks like. Yes.
Allegedly Sarcastic, what an awesome name, said, could be that law enforcement didn't believe that was a new fridge. That could be it too. They could be like, look, I'm not going to base this on your maintenance records. Taking that damn fridge, we have a lot pointing to Harmony was at some point in this apartment. That's how it looks.
Yeah, that's what I meant by like, they're just going to take it just in case. Like, I'm not going to go by what you say. It was here. You know, why would you put it unless it was broken when they moved out? They would have left the same refrigerator there in an apartment, you know?
Yeah, we're all just brainstorming on this right now. But like I said, Frank said he's going to look into it. Frank's really good with research, and because my mind is blown over the damn fridge right now. I don't think I could even read into it at this moment. But anyway, Ginger says that's a new fridge. They took one. I'm going to lean right now towards that fridge that they took had something in it, you know? because I
For
see what Razor is saying.
storage.
I see what Razor is saying, that they were using that fridge, for things that they found. It seems to me that that would contaminate the evidence they came across. Like, they have their own ways to transport evidence, but I see what you're saying. All right, so Teardrop never lets us down. Okay, anytime we do one of these shows, Teardrop has pulled yet another boner. So a couple of weeks ago, it comes out, father of missing New Hampshire girl, Harmony Montgomery, was indicted on the gun charges. So let's go through this real quick.
Well, the father of a missing New Hampshire girl is now officially indicted on 7 more charges. Adam Montgomery now faces charges including 2 counts of armed career criminal, 2 counts of felon in possession of a firearm, a theft count, and 1 count of receiving stolen property. In January, he was charged with second-degree assault for allegedly giving his daughter Harmony a black eye. Harmony Montgomery was last seen in 2019 when she was 5 years old, but she wasn't reported missing until December of last year. Investigators are looking for, and they've collected evidence at a home in Manchester, New Hampshire. That's where her father and his estranged wife once lived. One of the items they removed from that apartment was a refrigerator, but they have released almost no information about the search or the evidence they collected. A $150,000 reward is now being offered for information in the case. David, the father of a missing New Hampshire.
Well,
They wrapped it in black, Brooks. Did you see that?
Yeah, I see that now.
Did you notice that?
It was kind of moving fast in the first one. So they wrapped it in black. All right. They wrapped it in black, biohazard. She mentions the fridge. We've been talking about the fridge for a month. I can't wait until they bring out what's going on with the fridge.
Yeah.
So Adam's going to be there for a long time. It's odd. I mean, it's funny to me that his defense attorney, unless I've missed it, isn't trying to get bail or anything for him. Now, Kayla is free as a bird. But they're stacking up the charges on Adam, which tells me, I mean, besides the fact that these are serious charges, and again, it kills me. The people that are not supposed to have guns at all, like Teardrop, always know how to get them. Is there a secret club? We were talking about this in Dylan's case with Jim Brenner. He's in jail for weapons charges. He's a felon. He knows he's not supposed to have a gun, and lo and behold, he has one. So anyway, the charges are stacked mile high, not as high as they're going to be, on Adam. That's a lot of indictments on him. He's not going anywhere for a long time. Maybe when they get done processing all the evidence they brought out of this apartment, we'll see more that tie us to the disappearance of Harmony. I'm hopeful anyway.
So are some of these charges, what, if I remember, theft, what is this part of the assault charge against giving her a black eye too as well on these 7 charges?
They mentioned that, yes.
Okay. I was just making sure. And then the gun charges. Okay.
Yeah. So
he's they want him. And they want him where they know where he's at.
And also there's the speculation that he's involved in the murder in, I believe it's Lynn, Massachusetts from 2008. And that family, God bless them, they're like, no, find Harmony first, solve that first, then move on to our son. It's already been all of this time. Adam, I don't think is going anywhere anytime soon, if ever. He'll probably just go to a new jail or a prison. Hopefully they get this processed out of this apartment. It'd be nice if Kayla would open her yap and tell what she knows, because I don't believe for a minute she doesn't.
No, I don't believe she knows something or everything. Unless she was somehow involved.
She's got to be. She's got to be. There's $150,000 hanging out there, and she is telling Grandpa that she still loves Adam and everything. She's doing everything she can to stay out of this.
Mm-hmm.
She has to know more. She lived in that apartment with him where they just removed all that evidence. Marie said, wasn't Harmony missing before Kayla got this apartment? Yes. They were in the house, I believe. And hang on one second.
Yeah.
Happy August. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. United to Find Harmony Montgomery says, I'll be frank, not here to argue with anyone. I know the current homeowner, have spoken to the owner of the apartment building and the property, as well as the maintenance man. Then we're going to go with that, because nothing tells us more than one-on-one speaking with the people that are involved, or like on the Dylan Rounds show we had 2 days ago, eyewitness. You have an eyewitness at the court. There's no getting around it. They were there. They heard everything for themselves. So hopefully something comes out soon with the search. Does anybody know when Kayla goes to court next?
I had that written down.
Because I really I keep thinking at any time they're going to pick her back up on something else. Kayla cannot stay clean. She just can't.
Oh, no. No. And that's another thing. You know, if you're an addict and there's that much money up, you know, you're going to give something up just for your fix or whatever your issue is. But I just think she's involved. Whether it's, I hate to be gruesome and say this, if it was a bad thing, it could have been the cleanup, the removal. Like, she's involved. I really think she's involved.
Or just guilty knowledge.
Somehow, some way.
Because she sat in jail on really a flimsy charge. This has to do with her claiming benefits on Harmony, which is disgusting, but she's a disgusting person. And they said you could qualify for part of the reward depending on what you tell us. But she sat there all that time. All she needed was $5,000 cash bond to get out. Still didn't say anything. She acted like she was some sort of celebrity in the jail. The last clip we saw of her leaving, she was like waving to her fans and everything. She knows way more. I'm not saying that she did anything to Harmony. I refuse to believe that she has no guilty knowledge. And whatever that guilty knowledge is, she's smart enough to know it's going to put her behind bars for a long time. So Marie says she hasn't heard anything. Wayne, I'm with you. Wayne says, I never would have thought I'd be on the verge of a stroke over a refrigerator. Seriously, my refrigerator could go out 100% right now, and I wouldn't be as stressed over that as I am this right now.
I agree. But the more we got into this, I was like, well, wait a minute. You know, it boggles my mind. But like you said, I hope, these things take long to test, and it takes time. And maybe by the end of the year, we'll have some answers for our little Harmony. I just pray she's out there somewhere, but it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good.
I have a lot of faith in law enforcement with this case. Every case I do, because it's all we've got. Some I have none. Mark Fullerton, I have no faith.
Right.
Michaela Jones, I have no faith. They have botched, covered up, don't care. Those two cases are the only two that I can say they're not going to do anything for these families. Harmony, the way that the governor got involved, neck deep involved, he's calling people to the carpet left and right. It seems like the chief was really, there's some interviews I've seen where he looked like he could bite a nail in two. He was so mad. Hang on. United Define. Harmony Montgomery says, I have to return to work. Thank you for continuing to cover the Harmony Montgomery case. And thank you for your tireless effort. Because they have done amazing work. Marie is reading my mind. I'm wondering if they stored Harmony's body in that apartment. Bingo. I believe they found something. I do too. Let's look at it. I'm not being gruesome, not trying to upset anybody. They shut down a city block. They tore that apartment up. Besides the refrigerator, which is we're not going to quit talking about anytime soon, tiles, carpet, floorboards, the damn wall. They ripped that thing up. Harmony had to have been in there at some point, or they wouldn't have taken all of that.
No. And it was like in a pattern, like I'm gonna start from the closet, go down the hallway, around the corner, and down through to the kitchen to the refrigerator, or you can go backwards, whichever way. But it was a pattern that the camera followed onto the floor to the closet. And that's what caught my attention was that's a lot of evidence that they collected along a path.
Hell, like the
To me,
whole
it was
damn
like
apartment.
a path.
Like the whole apartment.
Yeah.
That's how the news crew showed it. That's how the news crew showed it. I don't know the order in which they took stuff out. I have no idea. But I mean, when just like what Crystal said to the station in Boston, and she, mentioned several items that were taken out. That's a lot of stuff. They're not going to take all that out just on a hunch. No way.
No.
Just
they
on
had
a maybe.
To spray something. Yeah.
Because look at it. I mean, look at Kayla's mother. They didn't take anything out of it. They haven't ripped her apartment apart. They could have been like, well, hey, maybe Harmony was here. They didn't do that. They took a lot of stuff out of this apartment. So we're going to look way more into that. I did see in chat someone says that Kayla goes back to court in September. I still think Kayla is going to mess between now and September. I mean, that's how Kayla's wired, man.
Mm-hmm.
How can Kayla live with this hanging over her head and be drug free? She has no, as of right now, no numbing agent, if you know what I mean. She's sober. How can she live like that, knowing that the whole state of New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and many people across the country are looking straight at her going, you got to know something.
It's like these people don't care. They have no shame, no moral compass. It's like they're very selfish. And I swear she's just obsessed with Adam. And she's, like you said, knowledge involves something that will make her go away. She has to keep her mouth shut. Or she did say something, and that's why they did go to that apartment and collected all of this evidence. That's a possibility.
Well, the timing of it.
I don't, because she did get out.
The timing of it made me think at the time Kayla said something. I've slept since then. I don't know, but I do believe that they found something in that apartment to confirm what they've believed all along. Harmony's no longer with them, because they did reach out to Jameson's fathers. They did reach out to Crystal and say, this is not the outcome you're hoping for. They know something.
That's not good.
They did.
And they wouldn't have said that.
No way.
They would not have said this early on just by that. They wouldn't have said that.
No way. No. But they did. Because both Kayla said it and Jameson's fathers. Just Me said, I don't think she said anything. I tell you what, old Just Me has absolutely no faith in Kayla. Don't get Just Me going on this case. Dang, she'd snap their neck if she was in a room.
I think we all would.
Absolutely.
It's frustrating.
Very. Very, very.
But
All
I'm
right.
so glad that you do this case. I really am. I really am. And thank you, Brooks.
No, thank you to all of you guys. We're not giving up on these kids. You can forget that. That is not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right. Before I shut this down, there is a case in Indiana I want to look at. Extremely tragic. They found a father and his 3 children in a pond last night they've been looking for. I'm just going to show the clip. We're going to talk about it a little bit because we don't know that much about it. We're talking about it in the Crime Lines and Lies Facebook group. We're also talking about it in Discord. I'm going to play the clip. You guys kind of let's put our heads together what we think happened. If we need to do a live about it, I'm always open. You let me know. Hang on.
Grief-stricken family members gather as they get the devastating news. The bodies of 3 young children and their father believed to be found as their missing car is pulled from the bottom of an Indianapolis pond. For days, family members have pleaded for help from IMPD and the public to find this young family, all missing since last Wednesday. Last night, they stood by as they got word a man's body and 3 children had been found in a pond on Bluff Road on the southwest side. Our crews have been on the scene for hours gathering the latest. John Duran is there this morning.
Julie, those 4 bodies, along with a vehicle matching the description of the one Mormon was driving last Wednesday night just before he went missing, were all recovered from a pond on the south side of Indianapolis at Bluff Road and Troy Avenue. That pond about a half-mile south of us right now. Giving a little bit of a space from that scene as family members, emotional family members, have been there all morning long. Police left the scene around 3 o'clock this morning, but this all started last night around 7:45. There was a report of a body in that pond. Then at 9:30, IMPD considered it a death investigation. Mormon told his family he and his 3 children were going fishing at 11 o'clock last Wednesday night, but they hadn't been seen since. The identities of the man and the children have not yet been confirmed, but the Marion County Coroner's Office will release that information at a later date along with the cause of death. But IMPD did have a message for family members this morning.
I want to extend our condolences to the family and friends hurting tonight, knowing their loved ones are no longer with us.
Police had already searched this area alongside family members Monday night. Family said Mormon's cell phone last pinged in this area this past Thursday. But Monday, IMPD didn't find any tracks leading toward the water and didn't call a dive team, but did find a baby bottle near the scene they collected for evidence. Now, Julia, we're still waiting to speak with family members about this horrific finding. As you can imagine, they have a lot of questions for police. And when we talked to the family on Monday night, specifically Kyle's mother, she felt police were not taking this investigation as seriously as they should.
I know we're not getting no help from the detective on this case. He doesn't feel it's fit for us to have cadavers and dogs out here to find my baby's scent, which I think is bull.
We want you to know that sound was from earlier this week at a previous search at that pond. Police, though, are asking you to, if you have any information, saw anything around this area, to call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS, guys.
All right, John, thank you, and certainly understand the disappointment there from family members.
This has really, really got me going. I heard about this case over the weekend, and I had heard that there was a custody dispute between dad and mom, that he did make an announcement that he was going fishing. Now, fishing with 3 babies, 5 and under, at 11 o'clock on Wednesday night seemed odd to me. That's why I thought he's taken off and they'll pop up somewhere. To find all 4 of them in the car, how did that car get down on the water unless he drove it off the boat ramp? Where's the mom? And as far as the cadaver dogs looking for them and stuff like that, I feel terrible for his mom, but I think that they thought, just guessing, that he took off out of state because of a custody dispute or this happened. I don't think it was an accident. I kept saying, all right, if one of the kids fell in the pond at 11 o'clock at night, I could see him jumping in to save one and maybe accidentally drowning all four of them. I think we gotta look more into it.
I'm good with you with that. And I do think we should do a live on this because I didn't realize there's a custody dispute going on, but who goes fish? Well, who go? I guess there's some people, but 11 o'clock at night with 3 young kids, that's fishy. Not to be, no pun intended, but that's fishy to me, right there in itself.
I mean, 11 o'clock at night, there is a custody dispute going on. You know, the oldest child is 5, then I believe the daughter is 2. The youngest, I mean, had a baby bottle. Hang on, there's Frank. Frank, what you know?
Right, on this, because I started looking into this yesterday, and I reached out to the sister for an interview with Sleuth, but obviously, this has all happened. I'm told, like, through what I've researched, like through looking through their Facebook, it wasn't 11 p.m., it was actually 11 a.m., but the media are strong on 11 p.m. But until I speak to the sister, I don't know. But I'm hoping she'll reach out still and like give more information.
Okay. Yeah, because all the articles, the news, they all say 11 p.m. 11 a.m. would make more sense. Let me see. B said he had custody. I'm aware that he has custody of the children, but supposedly, like I said, this is brand new, guys, so we are not going to know anywhere near everything. And you know how it is at the beginning of a case. So he was being challenged, from what I understand. That could be not true. My question is, a week later, well, I guess today would be a week, all 4 are found in the car. Especially 11 a.m. in the morning would make no sense. It's bright outside, and he drives into the lake. He drives into the pond.
Hang on.
Night makes more sense to me because they drive into the pond, so nobody would see. It takes a long time for a car to go underwater. They don't just sink like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would have noticed that car out in the pond slowly sinking. At nighttime, they wouldn't have. There's something very, 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 very sad, upsetting, and do you think he did this on purpose, Frank, or do you think it was an accident?
Well, going back to the time thing for a second, the sister said he went. This is what I was seeing on Facebook. He went at 11 a.m. and she invited him for dinner after. Mm-hmm. So, if it was 11 p.m., why would she invite him for dinner after? Do you know what I mean? But again, it's like, why would you go fishing at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. and then go fishing after, and then go for dinner after? You wouldn't be fishing long, would you? But I've also heard there was faulty tires or faulty wheels on the vehicle. I'm not sure 100% because I woke up today. I went to work and I got back from work and I seen that he'd been found.
Tragic. Jules said Dad was not in the car. That's what I heard last night. They found him outside of the car. And then they found the car with the 3 babies buckled in. So
now that changes my mind.
Yeah. So he gets out of the car, maybe swimming for help, and he accidentally drowns. They're going to have a long investigation on this. So him taking the kids fishing, even with their ages, Jules said, the sister said, is not out of the ordinary. Something very, very, very bad happened there last Wednesday.
Well, I'm gonna jump back off anyway. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Frank, thanks for popping up. I love when you pop into chat. I like your the work you do on these cases and the way you look at things. Thanks for coming up.
All right, thank you anyway.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank
Ooh, this makes sense. BC. Yeah, we'll do a live on this. BC, because you guys have a lot of thoughts. Car may have rolled and he went after it. That would make sense. I don't know why he would have
That's
the
what I
car so close to the water. That's what doesn't make sense to me, that it would get away from him like that. You know what I mean? I don't get that.
Unless it was at night, because there's a discrepancy in time. Maybe he left at 11 to go fishing. Maybe they did other things during the day and went back. We don't know yet. So I definitely would love a live on this, Brooks, because there's a lot to look into this.
I think there's a lot to look into it. So there's our breaking news clip out of Indiana. Extremely sad, extremely tragic. 4 lives lost. We don't know why, what happened, intentional, accident. I hate to put that out there, but we don't know right now. So we will do a live about it when more comes out. And in the meantime, I'm going to shut this down. I appreciate everybody being here for Harmony. Shannon, you're the best. Thanks for coming up and discussing the Harmony Montgomery case with me.
No problem. Thank you. And thank chat. Love you guys. Bye. Have a good day.
Let's have a round of applause for our friend Shannon Georgia Peach. Please, please, please. So, a lot to go over from today, and we will keep hitting it hard as always. So, you guys, thanks again for being here. You're the best chat and the best community on YouTube, hands down. Nobody can take that away from you. You guys are the real deal. You mean everything, your theories, your thoughts, your opinions, the way you put things down, put together. You don't run with crazy rumors. You guys are just the best. So I'll see you guys over in Discord, over in the Facebook group. We're going to put more stuff together about the tragedy in Indiana, and of course, keep covering Harmony Montgomery. If I don't see you in either of those two groups, then I will see you back here tomorrow. You guys are the best. Have a great day. Bye-bye.